I'm not a documentary filmmaker, but meeting these kids and wanting to remember them inspired me to shoot this footage. I hope you enjoy. I will remember this moment for a very long time. Saying goodbye to Pana and Jerry as they had tears in their eyes. Adina and I got on the bus back to Managua, and we both cried for about 20 minutes. It breaks my heart that we live in a world where children can be homeless. I came to Nicaragua on vacation. My only plan was to document hip-hop. I had no intention of documenting homeless youth. I didn't find the Freddie Pedro story. Freddie Pedro found me, as well as hundreds, if not thousands of others. This kid was famous in Leon among locals and tourists. When I posted the trailer on Facebook, I received messages from tourists around the world saying they had met Freddie as well and were also fascinated by him. This was the second day of meeting Freddie. He took me to where he slept the night before. He was very angry, saying the police woke him up. They accused him of trying to sell drugs because he was seen hanging with a tourist. The life of a street kid. People see them sniffing glue and think the worst of them. Like we all don't have problems. So how did I meet Freddie Pedro? Well, you gotta blame that on hip-hop. I had asked a few locals where to find hip-hop culture, and I was directed to this park where skaters practice. The problem was it had just rained, and you can't skate or breakdance on wet ground. Unless you're Freddie Pedro. I walked over to him and asked if I could videotape him. He looked up and said yes. That's when I realized he was high. It was a high I had never seen before. And coming from New York City, you'd think you've seen it all. I looked down and saw the bottle of glue and instantly got sad and thought, I wonder what this kid is going through.
Mi mamá siempre tenía problemas con mi padrastro, por eso busqué la calle y no quise seguir viviendo más en la casa, porque yo no quiero maltratar a mi familia, quiero seguir en paz, calma con mi familia. Yo quiero tener una familia sana, no al maltrato, cosas malas. Lo único que quiero es cambiar mi vida y se lo agradezco a Dios porque conocí a un amigo y está aquí grabándome y se lo agradezco mucho. Like my family is not very good. My sister's father is coming and live for me in the street. My family not good for me because I'm crazy, you know. Like it's glue, not very good, I know. Like I'm very hungry, I'm making glue because I don't have money for me, you know.
This is the Freddie Pedro story. A story of two tourists from two different countries that created a temporary family with 3 homeless teens. After videotaping Freddie dancing in the puddles, I asked him why was he sniffing glue. I was surprised he understood me. He said, I'm homeless and I'm hungry. He told me glue stops the hunger pains. So I told him, if you're hungry, we can go eat, but you have to put the glue away. He said, really? Let me go change clothes. He jumped up and ran over to a wall where he kept his belongings. He pulled out a pair of jeans and put them on and said, where are we going to eat? I looked up from where we stood and there was a rooftop restaurant above. I pointed up and said, right there. He got so excited he ran to the top of the stairs. When I got to the top, the waiter said Freddie could not come in because he sniffs glue. But I told him, please, he's my guest. So he agreed. Soon the sun came out and the skaters started to fill the park. Freddie saw a few of his friends below and yelled to them, holding up his food. He asked if they could join. I said yes. 2 other kids came up. This is when I met Pana. They ate, we took pictures, and then I told the boys I had to go and I would meet them tomorrow at noon for lunch. I said goodbye and headed back to Lazy Bone Hostel where I was staying. I had traveled to Leon with a friend of mine named Adina, who was a social worker in Sweden. I told her about the boys and she was very excited to meet them the next day. The next day is when I met Freddie in the park. This is when he told me about the police harassing him. Adina and I went to take the boys to get something to eat. This was the first time I met Jerry. They walked us around the neighborhood, showing us another place where they sleep when it rains.
Where he sleeps.
Yeah, when it's raining, they sleep there.
Right.
Living here, you know? It's my home. Really? Come on.
I told them I would have to say goodbye soon. Adina and I were headed to the next town to see the beach. Freddie asked why couldn't they go. I didn't know what to say, so I just said, I don't think it's a good idea. Freddie wasn't taking no for an answer. I asked him, are there any adults around that I could speak to about this?
These guys give you chemi juice for the guy, for him.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, bro.
What's your name?
Josue Gonzalez.
He took me to a guy who was a bartender at a place near the park. Freddie told me the guy helps him with food, clothes, water. I told him I wanted to inform a few locals that I might take him and the boys to the beach. He was very kind, and I connected with him on Facebook so we could communicate.
Hace aproximadamente 2 años yo los vengo ayudando acá cada vez que vienen, les regalo agua, cosas así, un poco de comida, zapatos, ropa, para que ellos no estén en la calle, no te tengan expuestos a los problemas sociales.
He said, in English, he said the guy is give you here because for everything the guy living here on the street, everything shoes, everything chemi, everything pantalon, I'm paying money for lucha, I'm paying everything, water, food, de todo un poco, everything.
Freddie then took me to a restaurant across the street from the park and introduced me to another guy who sometimes lets him work for food.
I don't have money, I want to go here because this guy said, you trabajo, like I give you food for you, you know? This guy is very good. Me too.
What's your name?
¿Cómo es tu nombre?
Fernando.
Fernando.
He's give you food for me because I don't have money. I come here, he said, hey, please give me, I'm hungry, you know? He said, alright, I give you. You trabaja like here, like this. It's coming here, you know? Here. Like I stay here, you know? I stay here.
We walked across the street to the park, and I was still trying to decide whether it was a good idea to take Freddie and his friends to the beach. Freddie walked us over to where he and his friends usually sleep and where he keeps his clothes behind the wall.
So listen to me. Me living here. Me living here. I live here because I don't have a home. My family stay in Managua. You know we Wali. Like I don't have family here. Me living here. Everything the people like is 8 guys, 8, 6, 5 guys. The people everything too young. No more family. No, I don't have chew, I don't have chemi, I don't have money for my lucha, you know? I don't have nothing. Thank you so much to the cheesy.
What's the cheesy?
What's the cheesy?
Oh,
Cristo.
Jesus.
Yeah. I love you. I love you, him. Thank you so much, you know? Muchas gracias a él y porque estoy vivo. It's okay.
So what's over here?
Like here, everything. My here is my chemi, my chair, my shoes, my. Here is the drug. This is glue. It's everything my drug there for me, but I don't have money for me food. It's give you hand, you know. So.
You could tell he knew it was bad for him. Freddie had some food left from lunch and gave it to one of his friends. He explained how his friends share with him when he doesn't have food, so now he wants to share.
Compartimos la comida, entre nosotros compartimos la comida porque cuando yo no tengo y él tiene, él me da a mí. Cuando yo tengo, yo le doy a él y él no tiene, yo le doy, no importa. Pero lo bueno es que nosotros lo llevemos bien y no mal. Por eso.
I mean, I think if I was them, I would just be happy to go to the beach. You know, I just don't want to bring them in to a hostel and put them in an environment where they see things that they're not used to seeing, and then, you know what I mean? they could steal something, get arrested, and it's all because we took them to the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to.
But like, yeah, we just
Freddie's showing us he knows how to surf. He was very excited to go to the beach.
Crazy and the surfing, everything surfing, I like. I'm very light. Por eso quiero ir on the beach. I like beach.
After much talk, we decided to take them.
Yeah? Oh, stop.
Everything crazy.
Stop.
He's going to go to the beach.
Yeah, man.
I'm very good. I want to go on the beach.
Right. Woo. Yeah. Okay.
take it.
Yeah.
Yo voy a llevar eso.
We got a private room for the boys. Freddie was the first one out of the room. He ran straight to the beach. His excitement was so heartwarming.
Go.
Guys, come on, man.
Freddy ain't gonna give up. Come on, Freddy.
Come on. Está descargando. ¿Por cuánto está enseñando?
We took the boys to where they wanted to eat and then found a place for us.
Yeah, man. Of course. Good night. Yeah. Oh, it's not hot.
Like all teenagers, they love smartphones and computers to listen to music. This went on for hours. We decided to take a walk and enjoy Los Bonitos, the small beach town.
Es la verdad, ¿para qué no se baña,
Where's the water?
Van dos.
Go!
puta me agarró, ¿viste?
Ah!
Me agarró en la cabeza. Ahí vale, no lo creo. Esto es rico.
No mud. No throwing mud. Come on, guys.
Eventually they calmed down, and we met a very nice fisherman who offered to take us for a ride to see the water. His canoe was too small for the 5 of us, so we made 2 trips.
This is awesome.
Es que éramos yo, los 4 éramos yo bien. Ella habla bien el español, pero ella es francesa. Tiene varias empleadas de aquí, mujeres de esta zona trabajando. Es chiquita la camarita.
It was so beautiful and peaceful. After about 30 minutes, we headed back.
You turning around?
Yeah.
Freddie and Pana made the second trip.
Oh, hey, stop it. These guys.
Jerry played in the water like a happy kid. It felt good to see him having so much fun.
What are those called again?
Freddie and Pana returned, and we thanked the fisherman and his wife, paid him a fee, and they sailed off.
Sleep?
Very good.
Mm-hmm. You like it? Well, nice, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was time to eat. We found a restaurant on the beach that served fresh fish.
No me quiere dar agua, eh.
I think this was the best meal we had all weekend.
Thank you. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
We walked back towards the hostel, and Freddie decided to rest. We walked Pana and Jerry to another place to hang out, but security called them thieves and wouldn't let them in. I told the security, "These are homeless kids. You would do the same to survive." The boys got upset. It was a very quiet walk back. We went back to get Freddie at the hostel, but then him and Pana disappeared, so we hung out with Jerry. We found Pana and Freddie back at the hostel, smoking cigarettes. What could I say?
La onda que él está responsable por nosotros 3, te ahogas, te pasa algo aquí, te...
Yeah, man.
Decirle que se está quitando.
Somos locos, cartucha.
Esta es buena también. Un momento. Ahora, ahora.
We went to sleep shortly after.
What are you doing over there, Freddie?
I want to go Leon, no more beach.
It was about a 30-minute ride back to Leon. Freddie jumped off the bus one stop early and disappeared. I never got to say goodbye. I was heartbroken. Maybe he didn't want to deal with saying goodbye. They knew we had to leave in a few hours. Pana and Jerry stayed with us, and we stopped for lunch. Then they asked if I could buy them some new clothes. They hadn't changed clothes since we met. I took them shopping for new shorts, a shirt, a belt, shoes, and socks. They walked us to the bus station, and it was time to say goodbye. I wasn't ready for what happened next. Adina started crying, and then the boys. I guess I was in denial and waited until they left. We took this final picture. Here we are back at this moment that I will forever remember. I guess I expected them to be emotionless. Seeing them cry shocked me. I said, "I love you, man," as they walked away. This was my vacation in Nicaragua. The bus took off, and Adina and I sat silently and cried.
Mi nombre es Freddy Pedro Bonilla Rodríguez. Él es mi amigo, que yo lo conocí en Estelí. A él yo le digo Padre Pana. Él es otro amigo que se llama Jerry.
Jerry, el presentado ratón.
Él es de aquí, de León.